electric cars, the most important tipping point is the family buyer. The family buyer who wants a 3-row full-size SUV. Well, Rivian's been working on this, and they're finally rolling out the R1S 3-row, family-sized, lots of fun electric SUV. On the front of the Rivian R1S, learn to say that. It doesn't really roll off the tongue. I will say I have to practice that. But you're going to see the very same signature that you see on the pickup truck. There are a lot of similarities between the SUV and the pickup truck. Where it's different, of course, is the third row and the cargo capacity. But on the front, you'll see these oval headlights that are actually designed to look like a carabiner, which is what the key looks like as well. And then you have this light bar that crosses the front, and you have recovery hooks here on the front bumper. So if you need to pull somebody out of the muck, well, you can do that. Over on the side, you're going to see some classic Rivian details that are telltale. So the logo here, the name on the brakes, the name on the wheel, the name here spelled out along the side with this one has the yellow accent along the name. And then the door handles that pop out, and when you put the car in drive or you lock the car, they are flush with the door panel. You'll see the logo here as well. But here is the glory part of this car. Come here, I want to show you this. On the back of the Rivian R1S, you'll see the logo here, the Rivian name spelled out here, and this light bar that spans the rear of the car. But what I want to show you is this Liftgate, which is a clamshell. So it opens up there, but it also opens down here, which is great for putting your kids here, getting the sand off their feet before they get in the car. It's great for having being able to reach in for a cooler or things like that. Anybody who's had a clamshell liftgate knows how great this is. So we're pretty excited that Rivian decided that that was the way to go with this cargo area. Here you have a nice flat area, and there is a little bit of storage underneath here. There are a couple of buttons here that allow you to put down the rear seats that fold nice and flat with the third row. So you do have this space here between the cargo area and the third row that has this ledge. But if you want to be able to slide stuff in, you just pull this out and pop it in right there. And you have a nice flat space for loading things in without getting caught on that lip. Here, I want to show you this. They built in an air compressor. So if you need to inflate or deflate your tires, if you need to blow up an air mattress, something like that, there's a built-in air compressor right there. That is so great. There's also a household plug right here. So you can plug in a cooler, you can plug in kitchen equipment, whatever it is you want, you can plug in right there. And then here are your buttons for lowering the second row seats. The third row seats, though, are manual, and let's go check those. But the real question and the real interest is here in the second row and the third row in the Rivian S, the R1S. And that is, the questions are, how many child passenger car seats can you fit, and how easy is it to access the third row? So let me show you third row access first. Tap the button on the shoulder tab, and the seat slides forward and it tilts, and that gives you space where if you have a child passenger car seat base installed here that's installed with the latches, then you don't have to uninstall it in order to get into the third row. Now, I'm going to climb into the third row and try not to knock the microphone out of my back pocket. And here we are in the third row, and this just slides nicely into place. There is, oh, check this out. So you can fold that flat if you like. And then the passenger in this chair can actually recline their seat a little bit more. So there are a couple of things back here that are pretty nice. One is I've got plenty of headroom. I'm 5'8", and I've got lots of room back here, and there is a sunroof over me. I have a part of the panoramic sunroof. It's actually a second panel. There's a full size panel there and a half panel here. It gives me lots of headroom and lots of light. There are vents here on the pillars. There's one on either side. There's a nice little leatherette covered armrest and a cup holder. Check this out. So press this button. And there are USB ports in here for third row passengers. They're underneath the armrest in this little cubby. I do have a nice comfortable seatbelt and headrests that fold down if the driver wants to put them out of the way, but when you have passengers back here, you have these headrests. They do not look like they are removable, but they should not get in the way of installing a child passenger car seat. Here's the cool thing about installing child passenger car seats in the third row. Both of these seats have the latches. So you're able to plug in and latch install a child car seat if you would like to do that, which is a pretty cool feature. Not all three-row SUVs have that. So with this seat positioned here, it's pretty far forward, close to the driver's seat. I have plenty of legroom. With the seat positioned here, I do not have plenty of legroom. So if I were sitting in the third row and I'm 5'8", I really would need the person in this chair to move it a little bit forward. And you can see how far that moved to give me access to get out of the third row of the Rivian S. So you can see how much this moves to let me get out of the car, how much space I have. And I really did need most of that space to be comfortable sitting in the third row. One of the questions that we all have about three-row SUVs is, how many car seats can we fit in this car? Well, in the Rivian SUV, the R1S, we have a toddler seat here, a booster seat here, and a rear-facing baby seat here. Now, the two seats, the toddler seat and the booster seat, are installed with a seat belt, but this seat is installed with using the latch system, which, by the way, there are 5 latch systems in this car. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all rear seats have child passenger seat latch systems. But if you have 3 car seats installed in the center row, how do you get into the third row? Well, there is a little bit of a workaround, and let me show you. So with the rear-facing baby seat installed, remove the baby seat, but you leave the base in place. So the base is right here, and it's installed with the latch. And if you push the shoulder tab here, this seat does move forward. You might want to put this seat forward a little bit more. And you do have a tiny bit of space to climb into the third row right here. Let's see if I can do it. Tiny bit of space to climb into the third row. Your 9-year-old can do it. Your mom, maybe not so much. But I tried. To put the seat back, you're going to just push it. You will pull this lever here underneath the seat and pull the tab on the side to position it how you want. And that's probably where you want it. You want it pretty upright for accommodating the baby bucket that goes on the base right here. Let's see how the Rivian does with the space behind the third row. What can you fit in that space if the third row is up? So I've really come to love this interior in the Rivian R1S. So it starts with this wide open space here. In fact, it's big enough, and there's a tray here, that I can put my huge tote bag right there on that tray. That's pretty impressive, and it's nice to be able to put a large bag right there where it's not going to roll out underneath your feet, but it gives you accessibility to your handbag. So I really love that. I also really love this. There's a snack tray here. There's a little tray here that folds out underneath the passenger side seat, so you can put things in there. And then, of course, there's a deep well here that is like up to my elbow, basically, with lots of cargo space in here. So that's pretty nice. I love the open feel, and I love all the extra space. Let's see. Oh, we also have a little spot here. So you could hide like, I don't know, maybe like a pack of Twizzlers in here. It's not a huge space, but it definitely is enough room to put something out of sight and away from prying fingers and eyes. Space behind the third row is primo. You need a fair amount of space for your regular gear, things like book bags, tote bags, even a little luggage if you have a road trip for a group of people. But here we have a blanket. And then we also have a stroller here. So this is our mountain buggy stroller. And then we also have a second stroller. So 2 strollers, actually this is a wagon. So a stroller, a wagon, and a blanket. And there's plenty of room for other stuff back here too. So I could still get a diaper bag. I can still get a diaper bag. I could get a few other things back here too. So plenty of space, not super spacious, but absolutely acceptable for a full-size 3-row family SUV. These are built in Normal, Illinois, by the way, which is why you see the Illinois license plate. Nice to see these electric cars are made in the USA. And then there's this thing down here. What could you possibly imagine this is? This is a Bluetooth speaker. It's Rivian logoed. It has ambient lights here in the bottom. And lest you worry that someone will steal it from you, once its battery is depleted, it has to actually go right back in here to charge. So they can't have it. Sorry, you cannot have my speaker for longer than the battery life. Notice here this very minimalist front dashboard that has some very cool features, very cool details to put you in the mindset of the Rivian life. It starts here with this really beautiful faux leather trim on the dash, and you'll see it here below. And then here is this really pretty open pore wood with the Rivian name actually engraved right here in the open pore wood. And then there's this really pretty cloth panel here that is in the center of the dash. It actually goes all the way across behind the multimedia screen and behind the driver information screen. And it's surrounded by this really pretty brass metal that you see here that surrounds the dash, and it surrounds there. I think of the layered materials of something like a kitchen renovation or a bathroom renovation. That same idea, that same passion comes to the interior of the Rivian. You'll also see this really pretty fabric here that's on this panel. It's here on the center of the seats. Here we are in the launch edition, so and then you see it on the piping actually there as well. But I want you to notice this detail over here, and that is this. These mats, first of all, look how gorgeous they are. I'm gonna pull this out, but look how beautiful this floor mat is. And you can take this out and hose it off and let it dry off in your driveway. It's that resilient. But it also is this really beautiful woven fabric that is something like you might find in your kitchen or your household. It was inspired by placemats from Crate and Barrel. And it's very utilitarian, it's very resilient, but it's also very elegant. And what a nice way to greet your feet when you get into the car by stepping on that really pretty mat. On the interior, you'll find this really pretty steering wheel with a flat bottom, controls here, and controls here. Give yourself some time to learn these controls, because this is the secret to life in Rivian, are these controls. There are vents here, and then there are vents on the side of the dashboard. Those vents, you cannot put your finger in there and change the venting position. You actually have to do that right here on the touch screen by touching these icons. Families are going to love this feature. Hey Alexa, open the front trunk.
Okay.
And it's open. How cool is that? Rivian has a new setting on climate control called Pet Comfort. You just tap this little paw here and you turn on Pet Comfort. And then when I get out of the car, The temperature stays consistent, so it's comfortable for my pet. And I can leave. Meet Amanda and Elise. We are going off-roading in the Rivian R1S SUV. It has, I'm going to show you this, off-road settings. So Elise, show me what we're looking at here.
So right now we are in off-road all-terrain. We're in the highest ride height at 15 inches. So that will give us an option of changing our ride. So right now we're in soft with a high brake regen and stability control on.
High brake region. So as we're off-roading and I lift off the accelerator, the battery is regenerated.
Yep, basically kicking back power, which slows down the vehicle.
Okay, so we're off-road, all-terrain. I could put it in sand, but we're not going to. Crawl, rally. What is rally?
So rally is, it depends on how you want to drive. Rally will give you a little less stability, so kind of like when you're rally racing and moving quickly. It's really handy when you're on like a sand highway and things like that.
Okay, Baja 1000, here we go. All right, let's do this. So we've got a forward-facing camera and the two side cameras. Stick your hand out over there. There is her hand underneath the side view camera. Thank you.
Yeah.
I love how they always put these trails right between narrow trees.
The Northeast, all the trees are there. No matter where you put the trail, there's going to be a tree there.
I guess.
So how you feeling so far? Good?
Yeah.
Good.
That is a tall hill.
And to the left.
And to the left. Oh my gosh. So, but the key is to get to the top here and turn to the left.
Just ever so slightly. As soon as you start descending, you straighten out your weight.
This is crazy. Okay, look at this. I cannot see over this hill.
Keep, there we go. Let it descend.
Oh my God. I feel like we're gonna crash into that
You're
tree.
okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so the truck is doing everything right now. Oh God.
And now straighten out. Straight. There, straight.
Okay.
Don't let go of the wheel. Straighten the wheel.
Well,
You're okay.
it seems locked.
Good. Just let it go. There we go.
Okay.
Right there.
It seems like it wouldn't turn.
It was probably caught on a rock
Oh.
or something. There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Oh my God. That is crazy. And what kind of tires are on this SUV?
So these are the all-terrains.
All terrains. Oh, so they're not, are they specifically for off-roading?
So you can go off-roading or take this on the road. And the great thing about the Rivian is, so some vehicles, when you put all-terrains on them, it feels a little rough when you take them on road just because the treads are much bigger.
Yeah.
These, you take them on road and you don't really notice a difference.
Oh, wow.
It's still
But
very
they're so
comfortable ride.
capable.
Yes.
So if you were going to, say, go to your whatever cabin every weekend and you didn't want to switch out your tires,
You wouldn't necessarily
need
have to.
so you can't really see that. So I'm going to show you here. That is where we're going. To that little red flag up there. Okay. So we have water over there. So we're going to go down those rocks and we're going to climb up those rocks over there.
Yep.
Gee whiz, those rocks right there.
So the thing about those rocks, you're going to want to stay to the right and closer to the tree. All right.
Closer to the tree.
Closer to the tree.
Not what I want to hear. Okay, so for this we're going to go to what?
Rock crawl.
Rock crawl. Go ahead. Wow. And we stay in the highest 15 inches of ground clearance. Additional 15 inches, or is it 15 inches overall? It's
15 inches.
15 inches overall. Okay. All right. Let's do this.
So you have the water, you have the rocks over there.
This.
We're climbing those.
You're a pro now, though.
I don't know about that. Wait. Holy cow.
Yep, so same thing, walk the vehicle down.
Whoa. All right, so it's not super deep water here.
No, not at all. It's a little deeper on that end.
Yeah. Ooh, a pretty creek.
So you see how the rocks are a little bit of a ledge? You want to stay on the side that's a little more of a
I see, yeah, closer to
roll.
the tree.
Yep.
Okay. So not up the steps. The full-size, family-focused, 3-row SUV is the tipping point for the electric market because these are the buyers who really need all of these things, room for their space, room for their people before electric, but they really want to go electric. Well, Rivian is the first to market, and the R1S is not going to disappoint.